everyone. Welcome to Tell Me Why, where we look at the why behind some of the decisions and the news happening at American Airlines. It is June. It is Pride Month. And to celebrate that, that is what today's show is dedicated to. I'm Caroline Clayton, and I am joined by Molly Wilkinson, our Vice President of Regulatory Affairs. And if you don't know Molly, I promise you will enjoy the next few minutes getting to know her a little bit better. So Molly, you are also one of the new sponsors of the Pride Employee Business Resource Group. Tell us why that's important to you and what Pride means to you.
Well, Caroline, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here, and I'm told that I get to keep the mug, so thank you. But getting into the serious topic of why Pride is so important to me, I think Pride means that you can be your authentic self. You can be who you are, not only at home with your family and friends, but in your workplace. And given the amount of time that all of us lately have been spending at work, it's really, really important to be who you are every minute of the day. So for me, when I got the opportunity to interview with American, I had done some research and had found out that it was the first major airline to offer same-sex medical benefits. It was also the first major airline to offer gender reassignment surgery. It was also one of the first major airlines to have workplace policy protections in place for those of us who are LGBTQT. So that was really important to me, even interviewing, to think about that. And then I went into my interview, and I had 6 interviews in one day, and it was fantastic. From the senior leadership down to all the way to the person who greeted me at the door, they were just welcoming and a part of it. And I basically said, I'm gay, and I want to work at a place where I can be my authentic self. And I just remember having the best conversation with Elise Eberwine, who said, we want to embrace you who you are, all of you. We want you to be welcome. That's the environment we're trying to create here, and that's what we're doing. And it was such a relief. I remember interviewing right before Christmas and then thinking at Christmas time, the best Christmas present I could get is to get this job, because I could go to work at a place where I can be who I am. And so for Pride Month, it's an opportunity for all of us to kind of celebrate that and celebrate who we are, and not to take it for granted, because there's a lot of places in the world where that's not the case. And unfortunately, there's some places in the United States where that's not the case. So I also wanted to become the new sponsor with Kirk Hoteling, and we have honorary sponsors of Jim Moses and Brady Burns for the EBRG, because it really matches up with the work that I do in the DC office as the head of regulatory affairs. One of the things that we really value is our partnership with HRC. And in that partnership with HRC, we've been an early and vocal supporter of the Equality Act, which is right now before Congress, and we really hope that that gets acted upon. We're also a very early supporter with HRC and really encouraging protections for transgender youth in over 30 states that have now somehow targeted transgender youth, and we're coming out strongly against that with our HRC partners. And that's important. And then most recently and most importantly of what we've done is we've joined other Texas-based companies to encourage on the state level that there be workplace protections for LGBTQ members. So it really matches up with the work that I do in DC, the work that I do with my colleague Steve Newman, who runs our state and local government affairs and who's a great ally of the gay community. And it's just a part of being who I am at work and at home.
Thank you so much. And I think being able to show up as your authentic self is something that we can never take for granted. And I think you've outlined beautifully why you in this position and can use your current role at American to help influence and drive change. You know, American, as you listed when you were starting here, has done a lot in the space, but there is a lot more to do. So we are lucky to have you at the helm along with Brady and Jim and Kurt. So thanks for that. For team members who want to get involved, what can they do to support the community or to support American in this space?
So go to JetNet, and there's a tab that says Get Involved, and it lists one of the EBRG. And I just want to give a little shout out to EBRG. There's David Cox and Donna Rosen do a great job of running it. But when I was doing my research about this was the first EBRG at American Airlines. Thank you very much. It's been in existence over 25 years, and it's got chapters all over the world. And one of my other responsibilities is to do international regulatory affairs. And so my own personal goal is that when I make these trips overseas, I want to meet up with the local EBRG chapters in those particular countries and let them know, you know what, you may be on the other side of the world, but for those of us who are back in headquarters, we care about you and we value you, and what you do is important, and we're glad that you're part of the team. So with that, I also want to put a plug in. There's going to be the International Gay Parade in Sydney sometime next year. I'm hoping that the world better be open back up by then. And at that case, what I really want to do is get a whole plane ride of Pride EBRG members, and we're going to take off and go to Sydney, and Basu and Brian's Notants are going to have to find us a couple of planes because we're going.
That's right.
Woo!
Zed, Basu, please go ahead and get to work on that. Molly will work on the legislative piece to let us in. And for everyone watching, hopefully you can join. Molly, thanks for joining us today. Really appreciate it and all of the work you're doing. For all of our team members, you can obviously watch Tell Me Why on JetNet, or you can download it from the iTunes store and listen on the go. If you have questions for any other topics that you'd like to hear more about, shoot us a note on JetNet and we will look at that. So again, happy Pride Month to everybody. Talk to you soon.
Yay!